Welcome to my in-depth review of Yesim's eSIM service in the Faroe Islands. If you're considering using an eSIM for your travels, you might be wondering how well Yesim performs in terms of coverage, speed, and reliability. In this video, I'll walk you through my experience using Yesim in the Faroe Islands, including the setup process, network performance, and whether it's really worth the cost. Getting started with Yesim is relatively simple. You just download the app, choose a plan, and activate the eSIM. The activation process itself was smooth, but one thing I noticed is that some users may experience delays in receiving their QR code, which can be frustrating if you need immediate connectivity. Once the eSIM was installed, the connection was up and running without much hassle. Now, let's talk about network coverage. The Faroe Islands have a somewhat limited number of local carriers, and Yesim relies on partner networks. During my tests, I found that the service worked well in major towns like Tórshavn, Klaksvík, and Runavík. However, as you move toward more remote areas or some of the smaller islands, the connection can become weaker, and in some cases, you might experience dropped signals. If you're planning to stay mainly in urban areas, Yesim should work fine. But for hikers and adventurers heading to more isolated spots, you might want to consider a backup option. In terms of speed, Yesim provided decent 4G connectivity in areas with strong coverage. Streaming videos, using navigation apps, and making video calls were all possible without major issues. However, there were moments when speeds fluctuated, particularly in less populated areas, where the connection would drop to 3G or become noticeably slower. One of the major selling points of Yesim is the availability of unlimited data plans, but it's important to read the fine print. Some plans come with a fair usage policy, which means speeds may be throttled after reaching a certain data threshold. If you're relying on Yesim for heavy data usage, such as uploading large files or frequent video streaming, you might notice some limitations. Stay connected anywhere with Yesim's unlimited eSIM plans. No limits, no contracts, just fast, hassle-free internet. Travel freely, stay online effortlessly. This and many other useful links you can find in the description. Another important factor is pricing. Yesim's rates in the Faroe Islands are not the cheapest compared to some other eSIM providers, and depending on your data needs, you might find better deals elsewhere. The flexibility of choosing different plans is a plus, but for long-term stays, a local SIM card might provide better value. Customer support is another area where Yesim could improve. While the app interface is user-friendly, getting direct assistance can sometimes be slow, and responses from support can be generic. This can be frustrating if you run into issues with activation or connectivity. So, is Yesim worth it for the Faroe Islands? If you need a quick and easy eSIM solution without the hassle of visiting a local store, Yesim is a solid option, especially for short-term travelers. The coverage is reliable in main areas, and setup is straightforward. However, if you're venturing into more remote locations or require consistently high-speed data, you may need to consider alternatives. That wraps up my honest review of Yesim's eSIM service in the Faroe Islands. If you found this review helpful, don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more tech and travel insights. See you in the next one.